Anyway, copyright fights out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. And unfortunately, with the other two topics being impromptu, and this one being less than great, I'm still not putting fan art on this one because it's just awful. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video right here. Now, this video right here is 14-year-old Georgia school shooter identified as trans. Now, I talked about this in a previous video. Not the shooter identifying as trans, but the school shooting in general. So we're going to have to pull up some information to deal with this shit. So the weird part about all this is that it seems that the shooter was anti-trans when you look at what's in their Discord. I have an article pulled up and ready for this. We'll take a look at that here in a bit. But first, let's go ahead and talk about the story box, right? Hashtag Candace Owens. Hashtag Daily Wire. Hashtag the comment section. So this person is trying to funnel in all of the viewers who would be watching Brett Cooper and Candace Owens, who gets more anti-Semitic by the day, and Ben Shapiro, right? Stories matter more than ever. New stories unboxed weekly. Disgusting! Dennis Prager doesn't believe this is a sin. Candace Owen reveals her shocking hatred of the Jews. Then this happens. Women pretended to be trans women angering teens, trans women who attack the women. Really weird way to word that, but yeah, those people were cringe. Okay, let's go ahead and take a listen to what he's got to say here.
Welcome back to another video. I personally didn't want...
Let's go ahead and do this. Where is the volume control app? Let's go ahead and raise that up a little bit.
...to have to make this video. I and ahed about it. I didn't necessarily feel comfortable with talking about this subject matter.
Man, I feel like most people who say that shit are lying, just personally.
I didn't... Personally, I just was upset, angry, all kinds of emotions because I'm dealing with 4 innocent lives that were lost at the hands of a deranged 14-year-old lunatic that was known to the FBI being deranged. They didn't do anything about it. And also the father knew that his son had significant mental health problems, and he still gifted his son an AR-15 style.
Whoa, hold on. Is that what happened? Because I don't remember that being the exact conversation that happened, right? 1 second. Because if memory serves, what happened is the FBI came not because this person was deranged, not because this person had mental health issues, but because they had actively engaged in violent rhetoric at 13 years old. That's why. I didn't see anything in the coverage of this originally that had anything to do with mental health, right? 1 second. And mass shootings data. Now, let's go ahead and see here. If we look at, say, Columbia University, what do we see when we look at the studies between links between mass shootings and mental health? The reality is, the people with mental illness account for a very small proportion of perpetrators of mass shootings in the United States. In 2021, Dr. Gurgis, an expert on several mental illnesses, and colleagues from Columbia Center of Prevention and Evaluation authored the first report on mass shootings using the Columbia Mass Murder Database, which examined the relationship between serious mental illness and mass shootings. Columbia Psychiatry News spoke with Dr. Gurgis about the role of mental illness in mass shootings, the motivations behind mass murder, why the perpetrators cause mass violence, use guns, and more. The public tends to link serious mental illness like schizophrenia or psychotic disorders with violence or mass shootings, but serious mental illness, specifically psychosis, is not a key factor in mass shootings or other types of mass murder. Approximately 5% of mass shootings are related to severe mental illness, and although a much larger number of mass shootings, about 25%, are associated with non-psychotic, psychiatric or neurological illness, including depression, and an estimated 23% with substance abuse, in most cases, these are actually incidental. Additionally, they demonstrated in their paper that the contribution of mental illness to mass shootings has decreased over time. The data suggests that while it is critical that we continue to identify those individuals with mental illnesses and substance abuse disorders at high risk for violence and prevent the perpetration of violence, other risk factors such as a history of legal problems, challenges coping with severe and acute life stressors, and the epidemic of the combination of nihilism, emptiness, anger, and a desire for notoriety among young men seem to be more useful to focus on for prevention and policy than any emphasis on mental illness, which leads instead to public fear and stigmatization. God, isn't it so weird when the data fucking shows that you're a liar? Anyway, continue.
Rifle. So this was unfortunately bound to take place because this young 14-year-old was lied to for the most of his life, and he felt like he could carry something like this out. 14 years old. It's a very young age to be doing something like this. You don't really
It's also a common age for mass shootings, but I don't know why we're sitting on that particular bit.
know the full extent of what you're doing, do you? But nevertheless, this young person was so deranged that he thought that by killing innocent young people, as well as teachers, that he could perhaps help his cause. What was his cause, you may be wondering? Well, this person happened to identify as being trans.
What? 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 How? How do you get there? Well, I guess it's time to go ahead and pull up this article. 14-year-old Colt Gray appeared in court on Friday to face 4 charges of first-degree murder after allegedly opening fire at Appalachia High School in Winder, where he is accused of killing 4 people and injuring at least 9 others. When taken into custody and interviewed, he repeatedly told Barrow County Police, "I did it." His father, 15-year-old Colin Gray, has been charged with second-degree murder. We already went over all that in a previous video. Documents discovered by police revealed possible motives for the shooting. Among the documents was an account for the online chat forum Discord, which the FBI has linked to the teen after he was accused of making a threat to open fire at the school last year. It is claimed that among the messages was one that read, "I can't kill myself yet because I'm not contributing anything to culture. I need to go out knowing that I did." The account also referred to the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting and is said to contain anti-trans sentiment. Okay. Interesting. So when I look up... See, there is... Meanwhile, Colin Gray is reported to have claimed that his son had been subjecting to anti-gay bullying and taunt several years before the shooting. While there's no evidence of the teenager's sexuality, his father told officers that it was a very difficult time for him. Colt Gray's maternal grandfather, Charles Palmas, told CNN he was a good kid, but he lived in an environment that was hostile, adding that he never saw his grandson show any signs of aggression or anger. Branding Colin Gray as a dysfunctional father who was a screamer and a hollerer, Paul Hemis added, "I understand that Colt chose to do what he did, and I understand that he has to pay for it. But I'm telling you, the environment he lived in, you put somebody in a situation like that for 10 or 11 years, guess what's going to happen? Nothing good." So wait a minute. Hold on. So the blame seems to be laid based on the family more at the father for being an abusive piece of shit. There's nothing in here about the shooter being trans. Where the fuck is that information coming from, you dumbass?
He used she, they pronouns.
Where? What? When? Hold on. Fucking... Where are you getting that from? Where are you getting that information from? So this video 3 days ago. So this would be September 7th. So let's look at the NPR article then from September 8th. Also in chat, if any of you can find anything on this, please throw it in the chat so I can look at it too. I need to see if he's pulling this out of his ass. The mother of the 14-year-old who was charged with murder tried to call the school before the killings, warning staff of an extreme emergency involving her son. Annie Brown told the Washington Post that her sister, Colt Gray's mother, texted her saying she spoke with a school counselor and urged them immediately to find her son to check on him. Brown provided screenshots of the text exchange to the newspaper, which also reported a call log from the family's shared phone. Brown confirmed the reporting. The Associated Press on Saturday sent a text. They declined to have further comment. Colt Gray has been charged with murder. Investigators previously interviewed the suspects. We already went over all of this. Father says the son was bullied at school, but of course we've got more information showing that the father might have been abusive. The family was evicted in 2022. Boy was described as quiet, and boy howdy, there's nothing in there calling him fucking trans. That's weird. Maybe Twitter. Maybe Twitter is where this particular poison came from. So let's see here. Colt Gray trans. Let's see where that information is coming from. Where is that here? We've got some pro tip. Never give a trans kid an AR-15 style rifle. A father taking his son deer hunting is not a big deal. My thought is, how did the kid go from killing his first deer to a transgendered heads case, with Colin Rugg saying poor parenting, mental condition, radicalization into social media. Drugs are some options. Okay. None of that looks like evidence. Weird. Let's see here. We have one from a Heather Fritz saying his own social media identified him as trans, and his Discord showed him frustrated that trans people aren't accepted. Where is your proof he was anti-trans? Or, trans people aren't accepted. Where's your proof he was anti-trans? Let's see here. So we have that there is a fake account called Colt Gray. The account at Is Never Wrong is a satire account, and the photo is AI generated. So are they going after a fake account? Is that what they're doing? They're looking at an AI generated Twitter account, using that as evidence that this person was trans, when the actual information in the Discord that the FBI seems to have been able to scrape seems to mean that he's anti-trans. Let's see here. The user described his own plans to target an elementary school while posting anti-LGBTQ+ content, anti-Semitic views. He said, "Let me give you an example of why I'm doing this," the user wrote, posting a photo of a family holding signs showing support for their trans daughter. "I need to put an end to that. I am on the edge of an LGBTQ massacre." If that's the information that was scraped out, that's a bit on the nose. That's a bit on the nose. Okay. So this people is so stupid it's painful. Yup. Let's see here. According to CNN, Gray's Discord account discussed his frustration with the acceptance of trans people. People are having no doubt that Colt Gray isn't trans. Only 4 trans mass shooters have happened in the history of America. Colt doesn't support trans people. Having long hair doesn't make you trans. And then, of course, we've got even more shit. I guess it's just... Man, I'm not seeing anything in here that shows that this person was trans. I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not seeing anything showing that they specifically thought that shooting a bunch of people would advance trans rights either. I don't see any of that at all. What the hell? Okay. Could it be that the dad was the one bullying him and the dad perceiving him as gay? Maybe. Dragonic says, I'm just taking psychic damage by how dumb they are. So I have a feeling his dad was anti-LGBTQ and he was trying to bully the gay out of his kid. Maybe. I don't fucking know.
It's another reason why I didn't want to make this video, because yet again, we have this major mental health crisis on our hands, but it's
the major mental health crisis that only attributes 5% of fucking mass shootings.
Only promoted significantly by the American government. The Democrats are supportive of this. They will say, we want to protect the likes of trans kids. We want to protect the misunderstood.
Okay.
But yet they're affirming the madness and the lie even more. It's not helping the issue. In fact,
what madness are you talking about? We know that gender dysphoria exists. We know that gender euphoria is a concept talked about a lot in trans circles. We have the medical ability to transition somebody. We have the ability to change their phenotypical expression. We have the ability to change their hormonal expression. We have the ability to change the way their fucking junk looks and the way that it operates. We have the ability to do all of that shit. I don't understand where this there is no trans people shit is coming from. If something looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's pretty obvious that it's a fucking duck, right? If the person looks like a girl, acts like a girl, talks like a girl, believes they're a girl, and is completely imperceptible to society as anything but a girl, then that's just a fucking girl. I'm sorry.
It's making it worse. The only way you can help these people is by psychological intervention.
Okay, so what psychological intervention would you suggest for trans people? Just saying. Just
people
curious.
are mentally disturbed. And by saying, or by affirming the mental disturbance, you're only amplifying it even more.
All right, so this fucker is trying to say that by accepting trans people, we are enabling school shootings? Yeah, he's just talking about conversion therapy. That's the psychological intervention that he's talking about.
And you're only going to make someone like this a martyr. He's not a martyr. What he is an evil, twisted 14-year-old.
Man, I'm just curious. Does his comment section believe the shit he's saying? He better not end up in a woman's prison. They'll try to blame Trump for this. Leave our kids alone. Stop brainwashing our kids. I love how the trans community calls conservatives the people of intolerance and violence. I'm sorry. I can't get through this whole video. I know I'm not going to be able to.
Who deserved more than just a jail sentence, I believe. You take innocent life, you deserve what the Bible says, a life for a life. This kid is going to get life in prison, and so is his father. His father gave his son an AR-15 style rifle to carry this out. What father does that? Maybe he was complicit. Who knows? But no father in their right mind, knowing that his son is mentally disturbed, hands over a lethal weapon.
So there's where the mental, the deranged part was coming from. He wasn't saying that this person was deranged because they had like some kind of psychosis. He's saying that the person was trans. That's what he's saying, that the person was trans. What kind of person hands a trans person a gun? That's what his argument is. Red Joker says, yeah, punish the kid and father for their crimes. No argument there. Yeah, I agree. Punish them for their crimes. They took a bunch of human life they shouldn't have taken. Orla says, you know, that is something I actually partially agree with. If a parent is actively giving their child a gun to own, then that should be punishable. And that's one thing I agree with as well. If you hand the tool to somebody who ends up using it for ill, there should be some consequences to that. I'm sorry. Senna says, just don't drag the trans community down because you cannot accept the reality that a cis white male did this. Yeah, I just... Oh my god. Also, these people who just do not understand how logic works, how does any of this prove that Colt Gray was not trans? All right, Feathermucker, let's go ahead and talk about how logic operates for just a minute. Let's go ahead and talk about how the human brain works. The goal is never to disprove something. The onus is on the person making the claim to prove it. That is how conversations work. That's how debates work. That's how the burden of proof works. The burden of proof is always on the person who makes the claim. If you claim the positive, Colin Gray was trans, you better be able, or Colt Gray was trans, you better be able to prove that. You better be able to bring that information to the table. If instead we find on their Discord a bunch of anti-trans sentiment, then gee, I wonder what the cause of the violence could be. This projection, and the fact that there are people who believe this projection, is astounding to me. I don't think I can make it through any more of this fucking video without wanting to wring this person's throat for trying to talk about an entire minority community as if they are the ones perpetrating the massive fucking school shootings, when only a handful of school shooters and mass shooters in general have even been trans in the first place, which is what you would expect for a group of people who make up less than 1% of the human population. That's what you would expect, right? Stupid fucking idiot. And you know what? No, we're gonna go one step further. This is a level of information a disinformation that I can't abide. We're gonna report this one for misinformation. We have to. This one, it's misinformation. Oh, okay. We can't do both. All right. Next, let's go ahead and do the timestamp. The timestamp is 2:03. Let's go ahead and say exactly what happens. This person claims that the shooter was trans and deranged when no evidence suggests either. They then stupidly try to explain that being trans is a reason someone might try to go on a school shooting because somehow a trans person might think that this will actually help their cause, whatever that means. This type of misinformation, disinformation, is incredibly likely to spread anti-trans sentiment and lead to violent response. Stop enabling this behavior, you fucking goofs. Stop enabling and funding this behavior, you fucking goofs. There. I used every one of my 500 things I'm allowed to use. And we're going to screenshot that because we'll just go ahead and throw this on Twitter as well. Why am I confident that we should be taking down another content creator's stuff? Wouldn't they just do the same thing to me? No. You don't understand. I actually fucking check my work. When I get something wrong, I'm honest about the fact that I got something wrong. When someone like this is making money off of convincing other people that school shooters are doing their shit because they just happen to be infected with the trans disease, that directly leads to more people being hurt. That directly leads to more people being assaulted. That directly leads to more people being ostracized in society. I'm sure Hunter Avalon may have actually done more work on this video than I did. I didn't watch that part of the stream. I tuned into the stream when I raided his channel. So there may be more here that I'm missing. But I don't have the spoons to deal with it, and I don't think anybody should. We've identified that the dude has lied on multiple accounts. We've identified that there's a wealth of information showing that he is fucking wrong, and we've ascertained that this person is directly leading to people thinking that trans people are just inherently fucking violent. I can't do any more. If you can do more, then I am super proud of you. You're a better person than I. But that's all I can do for this particular one without screaming my head off. Insert end of video tagline here. Hey, just wanted to give a quick thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who help keep me afloat and help keep this channel going. YouTube and Twitch are wonderful platforms, but at the end of the day, stability is not one of their strong suits. If you want to support my channel, then obviously Patreon is one of the best ways of doing that. Link is in the description. But I do want to personally thank everybody who has contributed to the channel. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Autumn and Angel, Nixie Chan, Mark Anthony, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fire Shard. And everyone else who supports my channel and lets me do what I do full time. This is a dream job of mine that I never believed that I would be able to take full time, and with your help, I've been able to do it. So thank you so very much for that. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all are having a wonderful time. I will see you all in the next one, hopefully.